What was different about Chicago is that you just never knew what people were going to say. And I'd been in Cambridge for a long time, and I kind of knew what everyone's role was, and everyone kind of asked the same questions. And I was so intrigued, especially by you and Gary. You and Gary had a toolkit. Like I really think about economics in life a lot in terms of toolkits, right? So you're given a problem, and you got to reach into the toolkit. And the challenge of solving a problem is twofold. First of all, you have to have in your toolkit the right tool for solving the problem. But what people don't give enough credit to is knowing which tool to choose is actually hard. Now, I've got 50 different tools in my economics toolkit, and I've got another 20 that are non-economic tools. And you come to a problem, which one? And what was amazing to me is I got that sense right away, which I hold to this day, that what makes you and Gary special is not necessarily your toolkit, but knowing which tool to use. And I'm sure I've never even told you this, but when Austin Goolsbee, another now famous fact member, we both got here around the same time, and you and Gary and Austin and I would often have lunch at the Quad Club. And you don't know this, but Austin and I, every time we did that, we would look at the headlines, the business headlines, the news headlines, and we would take a problem from that day. And he and I would try to figure out what the economic answer was to some problem. The Valdez oil spill, like what are the economic implications of that? And Austin and I would work that out for like 15 minutes on the walk over, and then we would ask you and Gary, and I mean, we would be wrong every time. I mean, literally, we would.
Or maybe right, but
but it was, we knew we were wrong because we would walk out and say, God, we got it wrong again. It's so obvious. And that's really where I got this idea about using the right tool, because Austin and I would apply a tool pretty effectively, but we'd each time say, we should have brought out the perfect competition tool. It's obviously a case where once you view it through the lens of perfect competition, you know the answer. But instead we had some other, I don't know, with some regulatory tool in mind or some consumer respond to incentive tool. And to me, that was what was really special and what I learned to do at Chicago. And I actually came here with the view that I would be here only 2 years. I really wanted to get to know the enemy. I wanted to steal your secrets, and I wanted to go back to Harvard and live a happy, easy life. But because I thought it would be easy, because it looks easy from the outside. And I'm sad to say that 20 years later, I'm still not that good at doing the actual Chicago price there. I mean, I would love to be better, but it's hard. But I still get a little better all the time just by being around people who are really good at it.
So kind of that's what kept you at Chicago partly, but also what else kept you at Chicago? What is it about Chicago that you find keeps you here? Obviously, you could go anywhere you want. So obviously, Chicago, you're here by choice.
Yeah. There's a seriousness here in general about the application of economics. Like a real belief in it. It's not a hobby, it's a lifestyle, it's a choice. People live economics, and I like that. The other thing that I have always found really interesting is that at other places, the old guys just don't do anything. I mean, they might hang around in the halls, but they're not doing research. But the old guys here, Gary when he was alive, D. Gale Johnson, so D. Gale Johnson must have been, he must have been 90 when he died. He had Parkinson's disease. He could barely walk, but he was publishing papers in the Journal of Political Economy. He was editing a journal. I mean, it was unbelievable. So I always found that really attractive, how this university cultivates a set of values where the oldest guys are working as hard or harder than the youngest guys, and it kind of seemed like a fountain of youth to me somehow, being around here and the excitement that people bring to what they do.